So along those lines, how is a Christian then supposed to talk about or practice kink, BDSM, sex toys, back shots, anal sex? Okay, so this long list of like, what do you do with these? Like, these are the naughty zone. Are these forbidden? Are these unnatural sex before God? And we've talked a little, spoken back and forth about BDSM, but I don't want you to feel like you have to be exhaustive, but kind of maybe an overall principle of people who want to explore more. What would you say?
So where I come from is I really look at the Hebrew codes, ethic codes around how did they think about sexuality. And in the vow of Ona, it talks about that if something is okay between a husband and wife, it's okay. So if it's okay between the two of them, then it's fine. And so what I say, that's a very simple thing to say. So what I see in my practice is that requires or has embedded within it a lot of trust and a lot of openness. So we have a mutual relationship. So there is not a power differential in our relationship in order for us to be at a place where what you say and I say, we trust that we have the freedom to say, no, I'm not comfortable. And there is no cost involved.
Very nice
No
summary.
cost.
I love that.
Okay. So a lot of people don't have that. And so when they hear me say that, they don't, they already can't say no. They don't feel like they can say, they either don't give themselves permission to say no, or they don't feel like their partner gives them permission to say no. And so you first already have to have a very secure relationship, I think, first and foremost. I was doing a little bit of reading and I came across this quote by a scholar named William Countryman. And he's a theologian and he wrote a book called Dirt, Greed, and Sex. And I want to read it because I think it's really interesting and it's also a little bit shocking, but I think it's important. He said, the creation of its own purity code has been one of the several ways in which the church has at times allowed itself to become a barrier to the gospel of God's grace. We are given the right to define our purity code within the New Testament, within the gospel. And that's why I think we have to have an ethic that is about honor and justice with each other. Am I honoring you? Am I honoring me? Am I honoring this thing called a marriage? Is there love being made here?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
As opposed to not do this, that, or that behavior, right? Because we've been focused on behavior for thousands of years. Yes. Behavior in and of itself does not assure honor, does not assure love. And we need to assure love and honor and grace and mercy,
And the spirit, the spirit of the law, right? Not just the letter.
Right. Which is why I think discipline is a part of the fruits of the Spirit.
Could you talk more about why you think why that's a part? I mean, why is discipline? Are you defining that separately from like self-control?
No, discipline and self-control.
Okay.
I think in order to have those other ones, you also have to have self-discipline, discipline and self-control but those are in the discipline and self-control are in service of those higher things.
Yes, it's not just self-control for the fun of being super rigid with yourself. It's in service to another virtue, another goal. It's like you don't just run sprints for the sake of running sprints. You have a further goal, bigger telos. Well, I'm fascinated now by that book, and I want to read it with you. So thank you for including that quote. It's got me all thinking all kinds of things.